it actually, if you Google that one, you should be able to find it. Oh, you're welcome, Bev. Okay, let's continue on. Let's continue on. Like I said, we're going to just keep adding, and I'm just going to grab a different strip for each one. Grab a different strip. So each one, pieces of the fabric is going here. So we're going to be adding. And I trim off because you have the thing at the end of it. So I just take and trim that off. I needed to get a start and a stop. It's not letting me pin my question. Oh no! What's the question, Cynthia? Jelly roll. What is your question? No, I did not get that on. I actually got it from another. I can tell you where. I'll message me and I'll let you know where I got it. Thank you. I'm creating a start and stop piece of fabric. So I find that having a start and stop piece of fabric helps me. So okay, so now I'm going to take this. This one. You're just doing right sides together on this. Line it up, and then it's kind of like a log, kind of like when you're doing a log cabin. That line here, and I'm just trimming as I go. You could easily measure the size that you need and have them cut, but I just find it's just as easy just to trim it as you go. And like the piece of fabric that I have at the start and end, it just makes it where, I don't know if you've ever noticed when you're sewing, sometimes it'll bunch at the start when you start stitching, and the bunching drives me crazy. So what I do is I have a start and a stop piece of fabric, and that eliminates that bunch. It eliminates the bunch that you have when you're stitching. So because that start and stop is on the piece of fabric instead of on your quilt square that you're working on. That one, because what I do is I start it and I have my needle down. That way it stays where it's at. And then I just start stitching. Just start stitching, just start stitching. And then you end with that piece of fabric. That way you'll have it to start with the next time. And then you just trim it. You just to trim it. That one. And I'm just finger pressing these out. We'll press them once we get them done. We'll press them once we get them done there. Just lining them up here. Yeah, I liked these jelly rolls so much. I actually got 2 because I'm like, I couldn't help myself. I'm like, love that fabric because I know we're going to be wanting to do something else with that fabric. So, like, yep, we're going to have 2 of those. And I always get more fabric than I need. You just never know. You just never know when you might need something, or you might want to do something else with that fun fabric. So, fun times. Yeah, the fabric start and stop really helps. The fabric start and stop helps because, you know, like I said, because, and especially, you know, when it's you know, then when you're just dealing with 2 pieces of fabric, it just bunches. The bunch on it drives me crazy. So, drives me crazy. That one, and then we're going to take this other one here. We'll trim off the edge on that one. I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out. Excited to see how this is going to turn out. Like I said, it's lots of fun. I know we just did another one, and when you add just, you know, it's almost like working with a panel. Y'all done a panel quilt before? The panel quilts are fun because you just take that panel in the middle of your in the middle. And then you just build out from the panel. You just build out from the panel. And you can build out strips. You can just do strips around it. You can do some squares. I like to do an X block square to build out on those panels. Makes it kind of fun. And you just let it go a couple stitches, and then you put the ending in there. It's not, you know, so you can see. It just runs a couple stitches on there. Just runs a couple stitches, and then you just trim it off, and then you can go to the next one. So here is this one. We have this one. Like I said, these are going to be cool. These are going to be cool. And look, depending on what color of strip that you sew around these, it's going to make the different colors in the heart pop out. It's going to make those different colors pop out, which is good. These are going to be cool. These are going to be cool. It's exciting. I'm excited here. I am excited. So now we need to go get a different color strip. Get back here. Get back here. I have all kinds of colors over here. What is the other one of those? Looking for the other strip that looks like that one. Where's the other strip that looks like that one? I know they're sitting here somewhere. Hopefully. Otherwise, it's going to be like, yep, nope, sorry. We don't have another one of those. We only had one of those. Oh, well, I'll go back to that one. We'll see if we can find it. We're going to go to that one. We're going to go to that one. There's so many different pretty ones in this here. Right? Isn't it going to be gorgeous? Miss Abby, are you off today or no? I missed your comment if you commented. I should invite Damon. Damon just up early. Yay! Well, I'm glad you're up early, Miss Abby. I'm glad you're up early. I see Damon's on. I should invite him as a guest. Be like, hey, Damon, come hang out. So Damon is my youngest son. I was scrolling back to find her comment. Oh, Damon's my youngest son. Damon is my youngest son. So he's pretty awesome. So you'll hear me talk about Damon and DJ. So out of my two boys, Damon is the one that actually sews. He's the one that actually sews. He'll hop on here every once in a while. I should text him and be like, hey, Damon, hop on TT and say hi. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Did everybody have a good Thanksgiving? So ours was good. We went to my oldest son's DJ's house on Saturday. They made a wonderful dinner. It was very nice. And then stayed and played a couple games, and then went on a side-by-side ride this weekend. Rearranged my sewing space this weekend. Ended up working part of the weekend. It was delightful. Good to hear, Miss Nana. Good to hear. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome. It's always nice, you know, and we sit there and think, and we get together in the holidays, you know, we really need to get together more often, y'all. We need to get together more often. This thing of only getting together when there's holidays, We need to be able to get together more often. Family means a lot, you know, and you don't realize it until they're gone. When they're gone, you're like, you know what? We really should have done more together. But, you know, you don't think about it until after the fact. And of course, you know, you always say on the holidays, you're like, oh, well, we're going to do this. We're going to make sure we get together more often. But then life gets away and it gets busy. Right, Abby? And then it gets busy and then you end up not getting together. Miss Abby, how was your guys' Thanksgiving? Did you get to have the grandbaby? Awesome. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Thanks for the follows. No, but I got to spend time with her. Awesome. Yay. That is awesome. Very cool. Anybody that's joining right now, this week we're actually piecing a quilt. So every day, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning, I am live. Y'all get to choose my schedule. Y'all get to choose what we do for the lives. So that's what kind of makes it fun. So we are I had a quilt order and somebody had asked, you know, somebody's asked about actually piecing the quilt. Somebody had asked about binding the quilt, about doing the quilting, which I use edge to edge quilting on there. And I decided just like, you know what, we're just going to do the whole process this week. So this week we are doing the whole process. Thank you, Gentle Rain. I appreciate the follows. So we're going to do the whole process. So today we'll be piecing. We will tomorrow morning, depending on how much we get done today, we might be able to get all this done today. If we don't get all this done today, we'll finish piecing tomorrow and then we'll sandwich the quilt. I'll show y'all how to sandwich a quilt. Once we get the quilt sandwiched, we will start quilting this. We're going to start quilting this. And I'm trying to decide if I find some quilting with hearts in it or do I find flowers? I don't know. I'll have to look and see. Look and see what I got to do some quilting with it. So we will see. And then once we get it all quilted, we will also, thanks for the follow. Thank you. Once we get it all quilted, we'll get it all. And then I'll show you the easiest binding y'all have ever done. I will show y'all the easiest binding if you ever done. So see what the difference, just adding a different color. You see it makes different colors pop in there. Those are the same squares, but yet a different color pops just because we added Marnie over on TT. Marnie over on TT. So bet you can find hearts and flowers. Oh, that's a good idea, Abby. That is a good idea. Maybe I can do hearts and flowers. That would be cool. Have you quilted on your quilt thing yet? Miss Abby got a quilt frame. So that just means I need to take a road trip and come find it. So awesome. I'm glad y'all are learning to quilt. Hearts would be awesome. Yeah, it would be. Abby, I'm gonna come see you and I'm just gonna make you quilt. I'm just gonna make you quilt. Okay. So now we're gonna take another quilt square. We're just gonna keep going, y'all. We are just gonna keep going. Like I said, this week we are doing the whole process of a quilt. We're gonna do the whole process of a quilt this week. So the other. Seems like some of these have two, some of these do not have two. Two of those. Two of those. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So and I will show you before we start the edge to edge quilting. If you don't, because my machine has a projector on it. So the nice thing is with the projector, I can line up those edge to edge designs pretty easily. But if you don't have a projector on your machine, I will show y'all how to do that edge to edge quilting. I'll show you how to create yourself a template. After you've created the template, I'll show you how to use that template. So like I said, I'm going to do the whole process this week. I want y'all to be able to make a quilt. I want y'all to be able to make a quilt. So On these squares, so what I'm doing is I'm more or less kind of the log cabin theme is kind of what I'm doing. So I'm sewing a strip on one side, turning it, sewing a strip, turning it, sewing a strip, turning it, and sewing a strip. So, and it gives it kind of a log cabin kind of theme as you're sewing around. So easy quilt square to do. Easy. This is a easy beginner quilt, an easy beginner quilt, y'all. And you're just taking right sides together, line it up. And as you see, I've sewed that strip here. I've opened it up. Now I'm going to go here. You could easily go top and bottom and then sides, but I like going around this way. I like to go around this way. So, like I said, easy beginner quilt here, y'all. And if y'all want to do beginner quilts, I have quite a few different squares that are easy beginner quilts for y'all. Makes them kind of easy. And as you see, with that beginning and stop thing, make sure your needle is down, because when your needle is down, you can just pull it right around, pull it right around. And I'm taking these strips and I'm just hand pressing. I'm just hand pressing, kind of like that. And then once we get them all stitched up, then we will go back to the pressing mat and we'll actually press them open. We'll actually press them open there. And as you can see, I don't use a foot. I don't use a foot pedal. I just use the start and stop on my machines. I use the start and stop on my machines. I find it works better. I don't know. Just my personal opinion. Just my personal opinion on there. So. And see, I've stitched that, and now I'm just going to pull it around. See how I just pull it around and trim it? That lets it do the start and stops. The start and stops work out really well. So thank y'all for joining. Thanks for joining, y'all. I appreciate it. This week, we are working on the whole process of building a quilt, y'all. The whole process of building a quilt. As you can see, I started here. I sewed a strip here. I turned it. I sewed a strip here, and then turn it again. And then now I'm going to turn it again and sew a strip here. I just keep turning on this. Like I said, easy quilt. Easy quilt that you can do. Yeah, more even tension when you start and stop, correct. So because your foot pedal is controlled, the speed of that foot pedal is controlled by how hard you push your foot. Good morning, Anna. Good morning. Good morning. On how hard you push your foot, or however it goes. So with the start and stop, you're right. It actually, the tension stays the same, exact same, depending. I mean, and you can on this one you have a speed on here. A lot of them have a thing that you go down like that with your speed. Different speed places on there. So get this one going. And like I said, I have my needle in the down position, so you can actually turn your start and stop. And then when you stitch it, just stitch a couple of them, stop it, hold your piece of fabric up, and then you just trim off the bottom even with that other piece of fabric there, even with the other piece of fabric. And then you get it stitched. And just line it up. You can, if you have a problem keeping them lined up, you can pin it, you can clip it, however you want to do it. I just hold them straight and stitch it. I just hold them straight and stitch it. So, and then I stop, turn it, clip that off. And you use less thread this way. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Right? Is it not easy, right? So then, y'all, like I said, each square means we're adding a different. Good morning, Deidre. Thanks for the follow, Andy. I think I already told you that, but oh well. Each square is turning out different because we are using a different fabric strip on each one. And y'all, it's gonna be a fun quilt. How fun is this gonna be? Fun. I'm excited. I'm excited, y'all. Excited. I'm gonna make sure that we have. Well, there's two of these pink ones. Two of the pink ones. Each one is fun. Fun, fun. Each one of the flowers is a little different. Really can't see unless you actually study them, but so then, like I said, trim the selvage. Selvage. Is that what it's called? Selvage. I think it's called selvage. I make up my own name for these things. And then I take this piece of fabric and start on any side you want to. And just line it up on the top. Line it up like this, and you stitch. Just stitch the first few stitches with your needle down, and then you trim off the bottom. Thanks, Abby. Abby, I need you. You need to come visit. Y'all, we had Miss Abby on the live one day. Which was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun when you came and visited. I hooked her up when she left and went home. I hooked her up with a bunch of stuff when she left and went home. So. Yes, definitely due for a visit there, Miss Abby. Definitely due for a visit. You know what you could do? Did you see? Okay, so y'all, I'm going to be doing a virtual class. In February. I have posted the information for that virtual class. It is a 2-day class. Good morning, Christy. We're making a quilt. We are doing a quilt. So we're piecing squares right now. Thank you, Ari. Thank you. We are piecing squares right now. Each one is going to have a different strip. But anyways, let's go back to the class. So I am doing a virtual class, y'all. I am doing a 2-day virtual class on abstract quilting. Your first day, what you'll learn is you're going to learn how to do a postcard, learn how to do a pot holder, learn how to do placemats. You're just going to learn the different varieties of different things on how to piece an abstract. Day 2, you're going to actually piece a abstract quilt. So, and then we can do some more stuff if we need to help you. If I need to help y'all, more than willing to help y'all. Also, during this 2-day class, y'all, we're going to be doing some giveaways. We are going to give away a grand prize of a quilt. Somebody will win a quilt, and then we'll have some other smaller ones also. And y'all, we need to get Abby here to help. During that. So come do that 2-day class with me, Abby. It is in February. If you want some information on that, let me know. And I can get some information for you. So it's February 5th and 6th, I think. So, right, Miss Abby? The abstract quilting, y'all. If y'all want to see the abstract quilting, I'll show you. I've got an abstract quilt right next to me here. It's just so much fun. And there is no rhyme or reason, no right way, no wrong way on making those quilts, y'all. And it is a lot of fun. It is a process, and it's going to make it where you have so much fun making a quilt. It is a lot of fun. Y'all, if you want to know how 6 and 7, thank you. If you want to know how easy doing an abstract is, I had my granddaughters doing it. And y'all, it worked out really well. So, y'all, I'm loving this one. Each one is a little different. So as you go, you're just hand pressing, y'all. Just hand pressing. I'm going to take these. Go up a little bit. Where are we all at this morning? Miss Abby said she's in Colorado and it's snowing. Oh, hey, I'm cruising. How old are your grands? So Nana, my oldest is 12. So Olivia is 12. And then her sister Peyton is 5. And then Everly is 3. And then my other son Damon, his kids. So Alexis is 5. And then Jaden, their son, is 4. So I've got 5 grandkids. I sit there and say that. It was like a friend of mine, we were talking about how old we are. And she's like, well, you're a 5-time grandma. I'll tell you, when you put it that way, a 5-time grandma, oh my gosh, you're like, wow, I'm old. So what is the purple thing you're using? Anna, so the purple thing is a start and stop. The purple thing is a start and stop. Let me explain that again. So what I do is, you ever notice when you're stitching and you have your 2 pieces of fabric and you start stitching and it bunches? You know, because sometimes your machine will do like a start knot on your when you're stitching, and it bunches that fabric. So this eliminates the bunching on the fabric. So what you do is you take a piece of fabric, doesn't matter, just scraps, just take some scraps, and I fold it in half. I don't use a single, I do a fold in half. So I take a piece of fabric, fold it in half, and I sew it through the machine. That way it's starting with there. It starts with that one. So does seam allowance matter? No, no, it does not. Because this quilt, you're talking about this one. So, but anyways, I'll answer that question here in a minute. So what you do is you start with that one. So you start with that purple piece of fabric. And then what happens is you've already got it stitching in there, and you have your needle down. You have your needle down when you're doing this. And I think they call them starters and stoppers. I don't know. That's what we're going to call them. That's what we're going to call them. Anyway, so you have it start there, and as it stitches, you let it stitch, and then you just feed this one in there, and then you stop it. We're going to trim the bottom of the fabric, but with it starting on that purple fabric, it eliminates that bunch at the beginning of your fabric there. It eliminates that bunch. So then we're going to come down here. And then you take this one, and as it stitches, you let it do a couple stitches after the end of the piece, and then you feed that one in. And I'll show you. And then as you see the needle down, you take and pull, and you just trim that. You just trim that. But on here, you can see that there's just a little bit of couple stitches here. A couple stitches here. So you take those couple stitches, morning, Jeanette, and then you just trim that off. So your starter and your stopper. And it eliminates, it saves on fat or on thread too. So it saves on the thread and stuff too. So y'all, check these out. Every single one is different. Every single one is different. So I'm just doing a 1/4-inch seam allowance on it. So it's like a 1/4-inch seam allowance is what I'm using. So you can do a half it. It's up to you, because there's really not a pattern for this. You're welcome, Gracie. You're welcome. Really not a pattern. So this is more or less me throwing something together. And as y'all know, I don't really go by patterns. I don't really go by patterns. We just, Abby does the same thing. Her and I quilt a lot alike. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning. So don't forget your coffee, y'all. Don't forget your coffee. So later, question mark. What's the question mark later? Yep. I like the 1/4-inch seam allowance also. All right. We're going to keep going here, y'all. We are going to keep going. So let's see how many we've gotten done. Let's see how many, y'all. We've already gotten a few done. So let's just look at the difference. We're going to look at the difference. So scroll up a little bit. Hold on. Let me see. Da-doom. I think you may have been filtered out because I do not see your question. I don't see. Can you ask again? Because I don't see the question. It may have gotten filtered out. Okay. So let's look at the squares that we've got done. So here is this one. And we're going to see the difference just in adding a different piece of fabric to these squares. And adding a different piece of fabric, it just makes it totally look different. And y'all, once we get these stitched together, oh my gosh, I'm excited. I'm excited what these are going to look like. Super, super excited, because y'all, is this not cool? These are all just awesome. Awesome. All right, let's keep going. Let's grab another one. Let's find 2 more strips. 2 more strips. We'll do those too. Liking the strips. Stitches. Ooh. Where did you get the squares? So Anna, I actually printed the squares. So I got the images off of E, and then I printed the squares on fabric paper. And then now we're gonna start these. So it's not saying that. That's weird. Where did I get the strips? So the I actually send me a message because I can send y'all where I got them. I can actually post it on my thing. That way y'all can see. Because these I actually did not get on A. I did get 2 of them though. I did get 2 of the jelly rolls. We might be able to get all these squares done. I don't know. We're going to find out, y'all. We are going to find out. And again, sew your strips, press. I'm just hand pressing. Like I said, once we get back to the pressing mat, we'll actually press them with them. And then before we stitch them all together, we'll lay them out. What I do is I lay them out. Let's do it short lines. You don't have to have back stitches. No, you don't have to have back stitches because you're going to just go back and stitch these together again. You're going to have to go back and stitch these because you'll actually piece these. So it'll be fine. Stitches. Run a couple stitches, measure it out, trim it off. And you can like trim it so like a 1/4 inch too long. Trim that. You're welcome, Anna. You are welcome. If you want, send me a message. I can send you a thing to where I get them. So, but if you go and Google like heart flower images on E, you can get it. Okay, thanks. That's what it was. Okay, yeah. So thanks for the heart me, Miss Amy. Thanks for the heart me. This one's stitching, just a stitching. Anybody travel for the holidays? Did y'all go anywhere? Always scared if you're traveling on holidays. Good morning. Good morning. Always scared if you're like traveling on holidays because it's like, no. Good morning, Miss Nikki. Good morning. Stayed home. Good. That's a good thing. I heard Honey say yesterday that she doesn't backstitch until she puts the squares together. Yeah. You went to Atlanta. Well, glad you made it back. Yeah, I don't travel on. Yeah, traveling on the holidays is not any fun. Traveling on the holidays. Went to my parents and my in-laws that were 20. Yay, that's not too bad. That's why. Yeah, seam ripping's not no fun, Miss Cynthia. Seam ripping is not no fun. Okay, one more strip on here. One more strip. I'm just cutting the selvage off here. Thanks for verifying that's correct name, Miss Abby. I appreciate you. Miss Abby's like a sister to me. She is pretty awesome. Her and I one day, our goal is to own a quilt store, right, Miss Abby? That'd be so much fun. That wouldn't even be a job. That wouldn't even be a job. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to work. They're like, oh, bummer. We're like, oh, yeah, bummer. And we'd be just laughing, having so much fun all day long, right? Would that not be fun? Yeehaw! We're having fun over here. Y'all, over on YT, they're sending me cowboy hats and stuff over here. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, we would. We would have so much fun. And it's going to happen, Abby. It is going to happen. I have faith. I have faith. It's going to happen one of these days. Even if we do it just for, a few years, 5 years, whatever, we'll still have fun. I'm thinking. I'm a little older than Miss Abby, but you know what? We can get it going, and we can go until I want to retire, and then you can continue it. So, yeah, right, Irie. That one's cool. It was cool. Very cool. Anybody just join in? We are stitching squares this morning. We are stitching. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That one is awesome. That one is awesome. Really loving that one. This is too much fun. Miss Abby or Miss Amy is going to have to join. She's going to have to see her quilt squares here. These quilt squares. And right? I'm loving the squares. The squares are gorgeous. Let's see. I don't know if there's like a, let's do, oh, that one's kind of cool. The one, there's some of them that there's only one. And we may have to do some different stuff on the ones that only have one. Some of them, let's go that one. We're going to go with that one. The ones that only have one, we may have to have, do you press design on material? No. So Nancy, I actually print it. Good morning from South Texas. Good morning. Good morning. No, I actually print the designs with my printer. You could do that. You could do, so back in the day, I remember they used to have the, what do you call them? The press, the iron-on books for doing hand and border. You could actually do that too. You could actually do that. What I've done is I've actually taken a light box, and good morning, So Pearl, how are you? You need an inkjet printer. I do have an actual printer that was made for printing fabric, which is a Brother Moda, but you just need an inkjet. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining, y'all. With the one strips, you can do two short ends, then, oh, maybe I should try that. So do the two short ends and then the two long ends. Do you use a special fabric to print on? Marnie, yes. So you actually, there's, if you go on A, you can do, if you search fabric paper, you'll see the fabric pair. Oh, sorry about that, Lisa. Y'all got to remind me. Y'all got to remind me on that. So there you go. So yeah, if you search that, you'll be able to see it. So let me try. But the problem is I've already started. Let's see how many we can get done this way. We're gonna see how many we can get done this way. I'm hoping we have enough because it'll change the look of the squares if I do it the other way. It's gonna change the look of the squares. So we're gonna see how many we can get done. Hopefully, because I only have, I think, 17 squares. Like I said, I'm gonna have a couple extra. But 42 strips, which means there should be enough of the strips to do the 2. We're hoping. Fingers crossed, y'all. Fingers crossed. We're going to find out. Fingers crossed. That was a little trippy, Abby. It's like I flipped around, didn't I? I flipped around. Good morning, y'all. Thanks for joining. If y'all are just joining, we are having fun piecing a quilt. This week is going to be fun, y'all. So literally, we are going to do the whole process of piecing a quilt this week. So today we are piecing. Tomorrow, I think we'll finish piecing today. Tomorrow we'll actually get the quilt sandwich and start quilting that. We're going to be quilting on a embroidery machine. So we're going to be doing edge to edge quilting, y'all. Edge to edge quilting on there. So if you've never done edge to edge quilting, it'll be a good learning process on there because I will show you from start to beginning. And it doesn't matter if you have a 4x4 hoop or bigger. You can do the edge to edge quilting. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it, y'all. Every week is fun. And y'all get to choose what we do. Y'all literally get to choose what we do, y'all. So we're pressing these, and we're just hand pressing these though. We're just hand pressing. We'll press them on the with the iron when we're done. We'll press them with the iron when we're done. Y'all, this is funny. I'm looking at my pant legs, and I've got pieces of fabric on the when you do jelly rolls. It's got like, because you know how the piece of the fabric what do you call it, frays? Well, all those frayed little pieces of fabric is all over my pants. My pants are black, so it's kind of funny. Thanks for follow. I'm glad that you joined. We are lots of fun. We have lots of fun in the morning. Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning, Arizona time. So it's currently Mountain Standard Time. We don't do daylight savings time. So it means we don't do daylight savings time. We go from Mountain Standard Time to Pacific time. So right now we're on Mountain Standard Time. So it's currently 6:45 here, or 5:45. Sorry about that. So we still have another 45 minutes of sewing. And I think we will get all of our squares done. If we get all the squares done, we'll go over and we'll get it laid out. So we'll see what it looks like, because we're doing the whole process. I'm not going to do any of it off live because y'all want to see the whole process. So we're going to do the whole process, y'all. Oh my gosh. Each one is gorgeous. I'm excited, y'all. These are exciting here. Exciting. I'm going to have so much fabric to do as abstract quilts. So I'm going to have a lot of fabric. I'm collecting fabric for that abstract class, y'all. We're going to do that abstract class. It's going to be fun. Yeah, Liz. Anybody else working on a quilt? What kind of quilt you guys working on? Like I said, this is just me stitching things together. So anybody actually working on, thank you, Pearl. Anybody working on an actual pattern? What is your favorite pattern? Do y'all have a favorite pattern that you sew? Nobody has a favorite pattern? My mom's favorite pattern. So my mom's favorite pattern that she used to sew is a log cabin quilt, working on a road to Oklahoma. Very cool, Deb. Very cool. Awesome. Thanks for the follow, y'all. press, and literally this is kind of the log cabin way of sewing. So you sew a strip, you turn it, you lay another strip and sew it, and you just keep turning until you get the all four sides. So, and it makes it really pretty. And you don't have to, you can actually do, like for the centerpiece, you could actually take some fabric that has either some images or some characters or just whatever, just a piece of fabric on there. So, do what? He said that wouldn't be a good gift. Okay, maybe there's a comment that I missed. I'm just learning to sew. I have started a 9-patch block. I think it's 9-patch is an awesome starter quilt. The 9-patch is an awesome starter quilt. Are you using like 5-inch squares? That one's a good one. That is a good one. 9 patches are fun. So you can do so many different things with 9-patching. So that one is called, good morning, Karen. Look up above. Okay, hold on. Let me go back up and let me see. I'm working on a yellow brick road pattern. Oh, okay. I like that one. That one would be pretty. You'll have to send me a picture of it. Good morning, Dolly. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I missed some of y'all's comments. So, yeah, 5 inch is a perfect size for that. She's working on a 9-patch quilt. And 9 patches are awesome. 9 patches are awesome. You could do 2 colors. You could do 3 colors. There's so many different ways that you could actually do a 9-patch. So, kind of cool. I like to do it with 2 colors. I like doing it with 2 colors. 2 colors is fun. That is probably my favorite way to do it is with 2 colors. So. I'm going to have all these small pieces for an after. I do a lot of rag quilts. I've only done 1 rag quilt. One of these days, I'm going to remember to take the one because it sits on the back seat of my husband's truck. Actually, no, I've done 2 rag quilts. A friend of mine I work with wanted a quilt, so they got a rag quilt. But the other one is on the back seat of my husband's truck. It covers his truck seat. So, what is the little piece of cutting off? So, Shelly, so this is a starter in a stop. So, what it is you, we'll go from the start. I'll show you how this works. So, you ever sew, when you're sewing fabric and you start and you have that little piece, so you have the little piece that you're sewing. So you're sewing your squares together. And when you start, do you ever notice sometimes it bunches when you start? And when it bunches when you start, then it messes up your square. It messes the square up. So what I do is I have a starter and a stopper. So the starter, you start stitching with the little square, and then so you let it stitch with the little square, and then so it stitches, and then as it stitches along, you just feed in your quilt square. And then at the ending, you end with that little quilt square too. Thanks, Carrie. Thank you. So as you can see here, so it's going to start there. And then I need to put on the other piece of fabric. I almost forgot the other piece of fabric. So we're going to put the other piece of fabric here. Other piece of fabric. Trim off the selvage here. I'm going to go here. And then, so as you can see, it's going to start. So we're going to have it start right there. That way, if it's going to bunch, it'll bunch on our little starter. It doesn't matter if it bunches on there. So it's going to start there. And then you just feed in your square. You just feed in your square that you're stitching. So then we're going to trim the bottom of this. Trim the bottom of this. And then you have your ender. We're going to call it ender. Starter ender. So, and then we're going to let it stitch. So it'll stitch all the way through. Instead of stopping at the end, we're just going to let it stitch, and then we'll let it stitch just a couple times. After that, it'll stitch a couple times, and then you feed that one in there. And I'll show you. So you just have the start and the stop. See how it has just a little bit of stitching in there? So, and then you just trim it off. It works out really well. Number one, you don't have the knots. You don't have the bunch or the knots. Good morning, Miss Linda. Good morning, Miss Renee. You don't have the bunch when you start and stop. And also, you save on thread, y'all. You save on thread. Y'all, we got another one done. I got another one done. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, y'all. And please ask all the questions. Ask all the questions you like, y'all. We're going to keep going. Just keep a stitching. Just keep a stitching. I want to see if I can find, you know what? I don't think there's two of those. But there is. It's going to be fun. Is there another one of those? Let's see if there's another one of those. There's another one of those. There is. Oh my gosh. I have an idea, y'all. Okay. So there's not two of each of these. There's not two of each of these. So but what if we do this? I want y'all's idea. I want y'all's idea. What if I do one of each of these on this quilt square? What if I do one of each? I think that'll be cool, right? Okay, cool. All right, cool. Thanks for the comments. Yeah, thanks for the idea. So, okay. Right? We may have to do a couple of these. We might have to do a couple of these. So, like I said, some of these, they don't have two of them. And being they don't have two of them, we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. So we're going to trim this off. We're going to go here. We're going to stitch here. Turn that starter. Stop there. Okay, so, and like I said, on these squares, you have your needle down, you do a couple stitches, and then you trim off the fabric, leave about 1/4 of an inch on the edge there, and then you sew that down. There. Lots of one of there. We're going to do that one, so then we'll go grab the next color. I'm wondering if, I don't know if I have enough. I'm wondering if I could do 4 of these. We could do the corners. We could do the corners with these. They could be a center square. Oh, also, Mandy, you're thinking along the same line. You're thinking along the same line. I'm so sorry for your loss, Miss Linda. I am sorry for your loss. Thoughts are with you there, Miss Linda. When you go live, are you also recording? We can go back and watch it. Susan, so all of my lives, I'm actually on YT and here. I'm actually on YT and here, and all of my lives replay on YT. So yes, you can go back over there and catch them. So. That way, just in case you miss it. That way, just in case you miss it there. We got the pink one on there. We got the pink one on there. Now we're going to grab Energy Saver on. Oh, hold on. My laptop's dying. Hold on, guys. Do not die. Look. Ah. Okay. Okay. We got white on here. We have pink on here. Now we're going to go up to the blue. Blue going on there. I'm excited to see what this looks like. I'm excited to see what this looks like, y'all. Great idea. Great idea. We come up with some great ideas there once in a while. Some great ideas. We're gonna definitely do two. We'll definitely do two of them like this. There you are. Okay, I lost my other starter and stopper. Okay, now we got one more. What's the other one? Yellow. We need a yellow one. We need a yellow one. My gosh, I'm liking this. These are pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Yellow. A yellow polka dotted. What is that? Yellow polka dotted bikini. Is that the name of the song? Yellow. I'm gonna think of that song. All right, let's see what this looks like, guys. Let's see what this looks like. See if that was a good idea or not. Itsy bitsy yellow polka dot bikini. Yes, itsy bitsy yellow polka dot bikini. Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. Yes. See, y'all know what song I was talking about. Y'all knew what song I was talking about. How fun is that? Okay, y'all, check it out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How cool is that? How cool is that? Let's see. Because I'm thinking that one's kind of cool. Or it could be y'all, it might could be the center square. Maybe you're right. Maybe it could be the center square. Who knows? Right? Kind of cool. All right, let's keep stitching. We're going to keep those. I'm going to keep those in a different spot. I'm going to put those right there. I'm going to grab some more here. Got two pink ones. As long as we got two, we're okay. As long as we get two, we good. We good. All right. Get some these. Have to look at what we got done so far. But on the edge, I'm just leaving about a quarter of an inch on the edge. When I trim the bottom off there. What you're cutting off is the selvage. Yes, yes, Grace, that's right. The selvage ends is what it is. I had to verify with Miss Abby. Miss Abby told me I was right. I was sitting there thinking because we just did 4 different colors on the other one. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing the wrong thing, but I'm not. So you can take, so this is actually the size of, what is it, 7.5 by 11? Is that the normal size of a paper? So that's what size these center squares are, is that size. You could take a 10-inch, I think a 10-inch square works really well. A 10-inch square works really well making these. It's kind of a square, the quilt. So you could do one of those. But this, like I said, I printed these images off. So these are 11.5 by 11.5 by 7. I think I'm right. 8.5 by 11. Thank you, Abby. I'm losing my mind. 8.5 by 11. So these are 8.5 by 11. I did not trim them down or anything. So I'll take a break here in a minute. I'm going to show you all the abstract quilts. That way y'all can see it. Let's just stop. We'll take a break here for a minute. We'll go through the squares that we have made. And then I'll show you all that abstract quilt, and then we'll keep stitching. We got one more side on this one here. One more side. One more side. Thanks y'all for hanging out, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. So finger press that one. Loving that pink. Y'all, this is gorgeous. 1/4 inch printing, 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch is literally probably my go-to, unless I need. Sometimes I'll do almost like a 1/2 inch. Sometimes I'll do almost a 1/2 inch, depending on what I'm working on. So, but for the most part, I do a 1/4 inch. You're very welcome, Brittany. You are very welcome. Is that what you use a 1/4 inch too, don't you, Abby? Bottom. Okay, yeah, I thought so. We'll get this one stitched, and then we'll go through the quilt squares and see what we got. I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited. Excited. Okay. Let's go there. Okay. So let's look at the squares we have done. We're gonna look at the ones we have done. Okay. So that's your go-to also, yeah. You know, you get to these things and you're like, okay, this is what I like to do. Okay. So let's look and see what we've got. So we have this one done. And each one is different. This is so cool. Each one is, I'm really liking this one. I don't know. I'm kind of liking that one. Kind of liking that one. So, right? 1/4 inch is basic for quilting. Oh, okay. I thought so, but you know, like I said, I am more or less self-taught. I'm more or less self-taught, and I kind of just go. I just start stitching. I look at something like, okay, we can do that. We can figure that one out, right? I'm loving all of these. I am loving all of these. All these are just gorgeous. These are all just gorgeous, y'all. And look how quick they stitch out. Look how quick they stitch out. And the fun thing is when we quilt it, right? I know, I don't have a favorite. I'm like, I don't know which is my favorite. I don't know. They're all just going to be gorgeous. Going to be gorgeous, y'all. So, right? Fun. So, y'all, we've got all these done. We'll keep going. Let me show you, though. I told you I'd show you the abstract. So, like I said, we're going to be doing the abstract quilt class. This is what we're going to be doing, y'all. This is what we're going to be doing. So, love the Jelly Roll fabric. Send me a message, faithful follower, and I'll let you know. How many blocks? So, I don't know. I'm thinking, so we're going to do 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm thinking 12. Either 12 or 15. I don't know. We'll see how big it gets. I gotta look at the other one because it's gonna be the same as the butterfly quilt we did. So, right, Shirley girl, I love sewing too. So, anyways, the abstract class that I'm gonna do is gonna be on like this. You see how it's just literally abstract? It's just literally there's no rhyme or reason on how this thing is pieced. So, it's gonna be fun. So, just thought I'd share with you guys. Sharon. So. Fun. Did y'all see? Okay, I'm gonna show you one more thing. Did y'all see Friday's project? So Friday, I don't know if y'all seen it or not, but Friday, Miss Abby, look at this. We crocheted the binding on this quilt. We crocheted the binding on this quilt. Thank you, Pearl. Is that not fun? Fun. Never thought about doing crochet on the side of a quilt. Good morning, Miss Betsy. Right, Linda? Right? I never would have thought about crocheting on the side of a quilt, but no, turned out pretty awesome. Turned out pretty awesome. Okay, so we have, how many we got left? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more squares to go. 7 more squares to go. So let's keep going. Let's keep it going. 3. No, we have. Looks like we have, kind of like we had the other flowers. There's like a thing. There's one that has bees on it. So I'm wondering if there's 4 different ones of those. We might have to do that one too. Might have to do that one too. There we go. Oh, that one. Look at that one. Is that not pretty? Crochet, 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 crochet. Fabric. I'm loving the fabric. Right? Do you print all your fabric? For the most part, D. Smith, I do. I do print the majority of my quilt squares. It's just too much fun. Too much fun. Either that or I started using transfers on them. I started using the transfers. The transfers are fun. You just have to make sure if you do transfers, you just got to make sure that you tell people if you give them quilts, just make sure you tell them that they need to wash them in cold water and line dry. Because kind of like the shirts that you have with transfers on them. Oh, what did I do? I hit the button. Oh, that's so funny. That's another reason to have a starter and a stopper. Maybe one day you can show us how to do transfers to material. Absolutely. How long do you cut the strips? So, Susan, these strips are, so what it is it's a jelly roll. So these, I can't remember how long the strips are. But what I do is I take the piece of fabric that I'm working on, whether it be a 10-inch square or however big it is, and I do a start stitch. And then I come to the end and about a 1/4 inch past the end of the fabric, I trim it off. So I don't actually cut the size of the strips exactly to there. So I just cut it as I'm sewing them. I just cut it as I sew them there. I mean, what you could do is you could do a I think I'm telling fabric. You could measure this strip and then measure all the strips, and then you could cut them all previous too if you wanted. Or this is how I do it. So not long, wide. Oh, how wide? 2.5 inch. Sorry, I apologize, Miss Amy. I apologize. These are 2.5 inch strips. The width of the fabric usually 40 to 44 inches. Thank you, Addie. I need you on here more often. Yeah, the strips are 2.5 inch 2.5 inch strips. You're good. You're good. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Thanks, Cynthia. Sometimes I read things and I read it wrong, so I apologize for that. I apologize for that. Oh, this one's gonna be pretty, y'all. I am loving the orange. I am loving the orange. The orange is really popping. So today we're gonna get this piece. Tomorrow we will finish piecing it and then get it sandwiched. And then if we have time after, it's depending on if we have time after that, We will probably, let me make sure it works, not messaging me, hold on. We will probably get started with the quilting. So, and we're going to be quilting it in the hoop with an embroidery machine, y'all. So we're going to finish this quilt this week. We will finish the quilt this week. So, hold on, let me grab my other phone. I'm going to make sure it's not messaging me. Oh, somebody just told me to have to work with somebody. Okay. We got one more side. I'm really liking this one. This one is gorgeous. This one is pretty. Pretty. Slide on that one. Okay. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty. I like how the side is. That is a cool. That's a cool fabric. That is a really cool fabric, right? Very cool. Very cool. We got about 15 more minutes, y'all. 15 more minutes. Look at that one. Oops. Ha ha! I'll show you the back of it. Ha ha. Fun, fun. Anyway, so just so you know, if you didn't catch the comment, we are doing the live. We are making this full quilt this week. So we're piecing today. We'll finish piecing tomorrow. Then we'll get it sandwiched. I'll show you all how to sandwich a quilt. And then we'll get it. We'll probably get started on the actual quilting process. We'll probably get started on the actual quilting process tomorrow. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Have any of y'all quilted in the hoop? Have any of y'all quilted in the hoop before? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the follows. Thank you. Thank you. Quilting in the hoop is a lot of fun. And like I said, I will show y'all how, because my machine has a projector on it, so it's easy to do. But if you don't have a projector, I will show you how y'all can do that without a projector. So good morning, Miss Kilter. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Happy belated Thanksgiving. Hopefully you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, ma'am. It's been a while since I have. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Y'all, if you're not giving Miss Off Kilter a follow, she's usually on. I'm on in the mornings. She's on in the evenings. So come hang out with both of us. Her and I kind of are doing the same thing. She's a lot of fun and she's full of knowledge, y'all. She is full of so much knowledge. So give her a follow too. So thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the heart me. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. We are working on, so Off Kilter. So what we're doing this week, we are going to actually finish a whole quilt this week. So we are actually piecing today. We will finish piecing tomorrow, get it sandwiched tomorrow. I'm positive thinking here, y'all. We will get it sandwiched tomorrow and then start getting it in the hoop tomorrow. So my goal is we're going to get it completely. Thanks for the friendship, Zach. Miss Off Kilter, you were awesome. You were awesome. What are you working on right now? Awesome. Yes, give her a follow. She's awesome. Um, she also uses one of the same machines I do, my Luminaire. So, granted, I know I use, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different machines on our lives, but I like I like a little variety. Thank you, thank you. Yes, give her a follow. She's awesome. Like I said, she's on in the evenings. She usually does evening ones. Are you still doing the late night ones? Are you still doing those late night ones off kilter? She was doing a late night one. I just awesome. Thank y'all. I appreciate you helping my friends. I'm super new to quilting. I only made 2 baby ones for my granddaughter. Well, welcome to the live, Krista. Yes, you can learn a lot from me. You can learn a lot from this off kilter too. So yes, she's awesome. And everybody sews differently, y'all. Everybody has a different way. What's her channel? Off kilter. What is your YouTube channel? I've got people over on YouTube also. They're wanting to know what your channel is. What kind of water soluble stabilizer do you recommend? I'm trying to think. Do I have you can I'll have to look and see. I'll have to look and see. I can give you a thing on there. Okay, hold on. Let me put that in the YT for you. Okay. I put it in there for you. I'm using new. Okay. See? Everybody helps each other out here, y'all. Everybody helps each other out. I like to do, what are you doing with the stabilizer? Are you making like bookmarks or? Mug rugs. Oh, mug rugs. How cool is that? Mug rugs with the water soluble stabilizer. Cool. And I use, for mug rugs, I use the no-show mesh. That way it's kind of soft in there. So. Have a quilting frame. Do I have a quilting frame there? Are you asking? I have one? I used to have a long arm. I no longer have a long arm. I'm using for lace. Oh, very cool. In the hoop. Yes, I do in the hoop. So I just use a magnetic frame. I use the dime magnetic frame for quilting in the hoop. So I don't think I've ever done lace. I don't think I've ever done lace. I think I'm missing comments. I apologize, y'all. I think this is the last one we were getting done. We'll go back through the squares that we finished today. Last one we're getting done, and I'm not going to do anything off live. So I'm doing the whole process on live. So we will finish doing these squares, and then we'll lay it out and get it stitched all together. So let's figure out how. I don't know, we might be able to do one more. I don't know. Juju Design makes ornaments with lace. Oh, very cool. I'll have to check it out. And y'all, if you like embroidery, check out Juju Design. They have some phenomenal stuff. Urban Threads has 70% off right now, y'all. I don't know if it's still on, but check out Urban Threads. They have 70% off. All right, y'all. Check these out. Okay. Thanks for the heart, me. All right, so let's go back through these squares. We've got about 5. Oh, nice, Abby. Okay, coolness. Okay, so let's go back through these. Let's go back through. All right. So, y'all, this mug rug design is from Juju. This mug rug design is from Juju. I love these mug rugs. So, I love making mug rugs. Mug rugs are fun. I'm addicted to mug rugs. I like mug rugs. So, yes, they do. They do. I actually got them yesterday. So, okay. So let's go through these designs. So we have this one. And y'all, as you can see, the strip that you add to the outside just makes it completely pop. It depends on what color you have on the outside as to what color is going to pop out of that flower. What color is going to pop out of that flower. So still loving this one. I'm thinking you're right. I think we may go in the middle with this one. I think we may go in the middle with this one. So super, super fun, y'all. Right? They're going to be gorgeous. So I found these images on E. I found the images on E. I printed these out on fabric. And then, y'all, we're adding these fabric strips around the hearts. And then we'll be stitching these together. And then we'll be doing that quilting. Y'all, whole process this week. We are doing the whole process this week, y'all. So lots of fun. So we may have to, right, Bridget? It's going to be gorgeous. It is going to be gorgeous. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Like I said, so tomorrow we will finish piecing. And then we'll sandwich that quilt. I show y'all how to sandwich a quilt. And once we get it all sandwiched, we will start quilting. I'm going to show y'all how to quilt in the hoop. I'm going to show y'all how to quilt in the hoop. Aren't these gorgeous? They just turned out gorgeous. And y'all, look, we stitched all of these this morning. So we have, let me see how many more we have. We'll finish stitching them tomorrow. Like I said, I promised y'all I will do the full process on there. Thank you for popping in. I greatly appreciate it. Again, y'all, give her a follow if you're not following her. So off kilter quilter on YT. So I go live 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning, Mountain Standard Time, Arizona time. Good morning, Suzanne. So I am on here from 4:30 in the morning. It is currently almost 6:30. So this is a time frame. And if you want to if you want to see what my schedule is, I pin it in my bio, so you can see what my schedule is. So like I said, this week we're doing a whole quilt. So we are going to piece that quilt, and we started piecing it today. We will finish piecing tomorrow morning. Then we will get that quilt sandwiched. Once we sandwich that quilt, we will hoop it. We will get it hooped into the embroidery machine, and we will start doing that edge to edge. And I'll go through the whole process on how the edge to edge quilting works. That way y'all be able to see that too. And then once we get it all quilted, we will actually trim it around, and I'll show y'all how to do the easiest binding you have ever done. If you've ever worried about doing binding, y'all, I used to worry about doing binding. And granted, this is just the way I do it. But I machine stitch my binding. So that is how we do all the binding. So that is the process. That is what we're doing this week. We will finish this quilt this week. So if I have to go live this weekend to be able to finish it, we will. So, but we're gonna have some fun. So thank y'all all for joining. I greatly appreciate it. Again, February 6th and 7th, y'all. February 6th and 7th, I am doing an online 2-day Zoom quilting class on abstract quilting. If you want any information on that, send me a message. I will get that information to you. Sign up for the class, y'all. I only have, I'm limited on spots. So come sign up and come have some fun. I will check my messages, Miss Gracie. You too, Miss Abby. Thank you for joining. Thanks for joining. I greatly appreciate you hanging out. I miss you, Miss Abby. But yeah, check out the abstract quilt class. Come join us. Come have some fun. Anyways, y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. We will continue the process. I'm not going to do anything. I am going to leave as is, and we will continue it tomorrow. So All right. Awesome, Irie. So, yes, all y'all have a wonderful day. Love y'all. Thank you.